When it comes to AMC, sometimes, as I always say, you have to be prepared for the worst, but in the meantime, hope for the best. Well, I guess we have a lot more thing to hope for the best than to actually get prepared for the worst, especially if we look at how the stock has been performing for the last 3 to 4 weeks. And if I just look at this momentum, guys, up 58% so far this month of August, which is ending today. But the most important thing, guys, what the chart is actually saying is we are getting closer to the resistance here around $48. And you can see that there is not a lot of walls prior to 48 going back to 60. So I guess as we are a couple of cents away from the 48, I mean, we can brace for a pretty gap up to happen anytime between now and the very short term. Anytime soon, this can happen. Why? Because we have a lot of things that are gonna all of a sudden happen at the very same time. And by that time frame, I'm talking about this week. So things are getting set up for this week. So setting the stage for this week, and we might see a huge gap up coming into Friday and getting a lot more to be happen in the following week. I'm talking about multiple things. First of all, we have DTCC talking about, getting into the UMR in terms of margin requirements for the market participants which are heavily involved into OTC derivatives like Citadel. And come September 1st, they are anticipating an upsurge in margin call. And remember, I shared with you a video on where Citadel actually wrote back in June when this article came out to these guys saying, look, can we be exempt from this thing? And I said, well, too bad, Citadel. You are not going to be exempt, because if you are asking for a favor, pretty much it seems like you guys are sitting on a bomb about to explode right in your face. So we also have on top of this, the FICC. This is the Fixed Income Clearing Corporation, changing the eligible securities when it comes to collateral satisfaction. Effective September 1st, they are not going to accept as collateral repo transactions. And here it gives you pretty much a detail of the type of securities they're talking about. And we know big hedge funds like Citadel sometimes use and play with the bonds market, treasuries, US treasuries, okay, the money market, in order to also get a lot of liquidity and use that to either get collateral or use that to get additional cash to short sell or sustain short positions, especially when you are short selling a stock like AMC and already up 2,000%. More than 2,000% so far. I don't even think how. Anyway, going to NSCC 005. So NSCC 005, there's going to be an upsurge 25 more times that the DTCC or the NSCC is requiring in terms of minimum fund deposit. And we know all of these big banks, all of these big players have multiple accounts. So even though it's going to be minimal for people like Citadel or Simplex Trading, keep in mind we have few short sellers in the play. Few, the light fish, the lightweight guys, if you will. And for these guys, this is going to be a huge requirement in terms of cash on hand to have. But in the meantime, if the reverse repo is also getting no more accepted by the FICC on this very same date or 2 days prior to this coming into effect, either you have to add some cash, but we know that some of these guys may already be overextended, not only in margins, but also in losses, because the stock kept growing since August 4th. All right. If you came in at 30 and the stock is sitting now around 47 and some change, you're losing more than half of the money you invested to begin with. So another catalyst to add. Plus, when you look at the option situation, guys, we have what at the current moment on Ostonk. So far today, okay, we are sitting on 73,000 calls in the money. If we reach 50 and close at 50 either tomorrow or coming Friday, or we might be sitting on an additional almost 30,000 calls in the money. But when you look at what we have out of the money, this is even more juicy, because people will be playing with this, even though we know we are kind of setting ourselves up for failures by playing with options in this play, because the market makers alongside the short sellers will always make sure they get the final say. So, but you never know, the price might surge to a point where it's unbearable for them to manipulate this, because it's so sudden, and by hedging the calls that they wrote and sold to whoever bought it, man, we can have another gamma squeeze in the play. So we have a lot of things that are kind of playing in the favor at the very same time of people who are buying and holding AMC at the moment. So I don't really see how you can be bearish on AMC at the moment. She's really setting up to explode from any potential side. I mean, I don't even want to mention the stock getting added to the MSCI World Index. I made a total standalone video on this. Please go and check that out, because I go into the details and explain how this can bring this to possibly $300 a share by this coming Friday. Yes, this coming Friday. So guys, I don't know about you, but things are heading more pretty damn good.